Hey everyone, Max Bowen here. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you know how much I love Comixology. This is the best place to go for digital comics from every company out there, from the big two to independent creator-owned titles. Well, folks, the big news is that they are hitting the presses. In the spring of 2021, they'll be teaming up with Dark Horse Comics, publisher of titles such as Black Hammer, Hellboy, and Sin City, my personal favorite, to distribute print editions of Comixology originals, graphic novels, and collections. This is going to include the Eisner Award winner Afterlift, along with Breaklands, Youth, and The Black Ghost. I have read most of these titles. They are amazing. I cannot wait to add them to my bookshelf. Now, these will be available in comic shops, bookstores, and libraries, and more will be announced in the weeks and months to come. But if you want all the updates, go to ComixologyOriginals.com and follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Hey everyone, welcome back to Citywide Blackout, your home for music, movies, and more. I'm your host, Max Bowen. In this episode, I welcome back Ontario-based musician Sabrina Fallah. She's been hard at work getting her music onto radio stations across the world, and it's led to some amazing results, including some really cool live shows. We talk about the stations where you can hear her music, as well as some insight into how to get your work heard and the pitfalls to avoid. In this episode, I am welcoming back Ontario, Canada-based musician Sabrina Fallah. There has been a lot happening with her life. We're going to talk all about it and a whole lot more. Sabrina, welcome back to the show. It is awesome to have you here.
Thank you for having me back.
Of course. Now, the big news, of course, is that you have been making some major headway getting into mainstream radio, which is the dream of a lot of musicians.
It was one of my main goals, but it took many, many, many years to get to that point.
Now, what was the big struggle? Like what happened that it took so long to get to where we are now?
So when I got signed, it took me a year from that day to get on the radio. And I hear from the music directors that I talk to that it does take a while because you have to push your music as you're submitting it to radio stations.
Push it in the sense that you gotta just be constantly on them to play it?
You have to keep pushing on them, but very politely, very nicely. You don't want to be mean. And you don't want to overdo it. But you do, but you don't, don't forget me. I'm here, But they're really nice. And what happened was one station gave me that chance. They heard my song. They said, we'll interview you. And they played it. And things went so well that after that station played me, I could tell the other stations, so-and-so played me. Are you going to play me? And then from then it went on and on and on and on. Sometimes you just need that one person to believe in you. And then it takes off.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a snowball effect. Like you get to one, they hear about it, they say, okay, we'll do it now too. But now we talked earlier about the approach, about how you want to be persistent but not be a pest.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you make yourself known to them without just nudging them endlessly?
You follow up with them. And by following up with them, it's not necessarily resending the same email. It's asking them if they have received the email you have sent them.
What do you say in your email? What kind of information do you give? Because I'm a bit of a nerd about this because I get this stuff.
The first line is explaining who I am and why I'm submitting my songs to them for airplay and for an interview if they can interview. Then I sent them a short bio. Then normally people would say send one song. I send all of my songs because some music directors will actually listen to them all. Some of them will just choose one. So I just send it all. Hey, just pick one. Go ahead. And then at the end, I normally list the stations that have played me or featured me. So every time I get more stations accepting me, I add it to my list. So they know so-and-so have played this song, and then they'll listen to that song and say, so they like that one, so we'll play. A lot of the stations that have been taking me are taking the songs that are being picked from other stations. They're just following the pattern.
I think it's also really good that you send all your music because Someone might listen to, say, yeah, Kiss is a killer, and say, well, this isn't really our kind of music. They may listen to All or Nothing. And these are all Sabrina songs, folks. I'm listing her track names. They may listen to All or Nothing and say, oh, this is exactly what we want. So it's good to give them that kind of option, because what kind of research do you do for the stations that you submit to? Because I get stuff all the time from folks that and see, I love that you laugh, because I feel like not everyone does this enough.
No, it's funny because I do my research, but sometimes on the station it says rock station, right? But it doesn't say classic rock, because I didn't see the classic in little spot on the page. So I contact them, and then they're like, you know what? Good music, but sorry, we can't play it, but I'll keep it anyway for myself. It's like, okay. It's like they're actually really nice, and some of them even tell me the stations near them that would play me, but none of them were mean, saying, why are you sending it? Like, it's just an innocent mistake. Like heavy rock or active rock or alternative rock, I can send it to them, but if I miss that classic part, but if they say active rock and classic rock, I can submit to that, because I'm in the active, not the classic. But sometimes it tricks you. Or sometimes they say, yes, we are active rock, but we're not playing up and coming new artists. We'll just feature you. Or some of them say, oh yeah, we will definitely spin you. But sometimes you just have to send it to them, and then you might be lucky, and they might put you on a classic station. Actually, a classic station did feature me at some point.
I guess you qualify then.
We like you anyway, but that was a luck. That was just, they probably just liked it so much that they just gave me a spin. But still, that one spin, it was a spin. Mm-hmm. It got heard. Mm-hmm. But it's just. But yeah, you just have to like really know who you're sending it to. And then you realize some stations have the same music director. So you just send to one, and hopefully they send it to the stations that they feel is good, because they all work together. As I'm submitting, I'm realizing they all know each other in the radio field. They all know one another. So that's why they are choosing the same songs, and they're following each other. And I'm getting to know the radio business now, that they do talk.
Oh yeah, especially
a lot.
Especially now, I'm curious. Do you just stick to stations in your general area, or do you submit to stations all over the place?
I have a station in Brazil playing me.
Wow.
I go everywhere. Yeah. I asked them if they would interview me. They said, well, no, we can't interview you, but we can definitely give you an airplay. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead. And they chose Frontline.
Oh, good choice.
That one is getting picked up a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see. Now, I also saw the most recently you got picked up by Kiss FM in Phoenix.
Okay. So I'll tell you what that one is.
Okay,
so
cool.
Kiss FM Phoenix is a contest, and actually a friend of mine sent me the link to that contest, because I'm a rock singer. I wouldn't be listening to Kiss, because I know it's pop, but what it was it's a contest. So I submitted my slowest ballad, Hurt, that I knew would get accepted, because it wasn't heavy sounding rock sound to be too hard for the station. So if I win, I get played on the station, and I get the opportunity to open up for iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Wow, that's big. That's really big. I hope so.
Yes.
I hope they have it. I mean, that's always a question mark right now.
Yeah, but like I'm really thankful that my friend Game sent me the link, because yet again plus I'm not from the States, so I wouldn't have even followed all of the US, but I have heard of Kiss, but I didn't know they were giving this contest. And he's like, you gotta do it. I'm like, okay, I'm at Costco. Give me 5 seconds. And at Costco, I'm literally signing up and submitting my thing. And then 2 hours later, I get home. I'm screaming, I'm in.
Nice.
Now it's time to get people to start voting. Now, I don't know when the voting ends, but it's still open right now.
Okay, so
I'm
go and vote.
thinking maybe in September, because September 18, 19 is the festival. So I'm hoping they give enough time for the winner to do what they have to do, because I don't even know what the winner is supposed to do after. Sing 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs. But we'll see.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask about the music industry as it is now. Certainly, radio is still a presence, but it's not what it used to be. And like in my area, we've seen a couple, 3 stations shut down in the last 10 years.
Oh, no.
And more folks are making their careers on Spotify and YouTube and so forth. Why pursue this route where it's not perhaps as powerful as it was, 10, 20 years ago?
I still think radio is good to be on, because there are some people who still listen to the radio, and my label even told me, if you can get on the radio, it's going to help you just as good as being on Spotify or YouTube, because I just want to turn on the car and hear myself on the radio, which I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, quite a few times. Yeah.
How badly did you freak out when that happened?
I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the radio.
and also driving.
I'm hearing myself on the radio. At first it was exciting. After a while, it's like, oh my God, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's cool though, right?
It's cool. I actually, once I rolled down the window, I'm like, that's me.
And everyone's like, what the hell is she yelling about?
Yes. Sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it, because I'm just so excited that people are just like, she's crazy.
Hey, whatever. You're on the radio. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
It's very cool. So what is on your list in terms of like other stations? What are you kind of looking to be on next?
Kiss FM.
Okay, well, yes, definitely them, but, past that.
Any station that will take me, because there are some stations that I wish I could be on, but they're just not accepting up-and-coming artists, but they are keeping me in their file. And I do contact them once in a while to be in touch as friends so they don't forget me, which you should do. You should never lose contact, because you want to keep them in the loop and say, I have this coming, I have that coming. You have to, the thing about this industry is people can forget you very, very fast. Since I'm not like big yet, I have to really keep communicating, because and it actually works. Some music directors actually, and even DJs that have interviewed me, like that I keep saying hi and that, because they just love talking to artists and seeing what's going on with them. So,
well, I think it's also good that you take the time to get to know them. You're not just, okay, give your music, walk away, do it again. 4 seconds later.
No. I like to make friends with the radio people. It's actually something you should do in the industry as an artist. Don't get like too close, but like, yeah. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Like friends, kind of friendly kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, especially because radio stations still do concerts, they still do shows, they still do festivals. So
I've been invited to 2.
Oh, really?
Can I mention the?
Yes.
Okay,
definitely.
so I don't know the whole thing, but I know a Persian Chin station, because my background is Persian, Iranian, and because of COVID, they couldn't do it. So they normally have a Chin festival, which I actually did a few years back. I got the opportunity to perform there, but now I got invited from the station. So if I perform next year, it'll be the station backing me up on the stage.
Ooh.
So that'll be cool. And then I have a station in Quebec, Chip Radio. they want me to come next year if I'm allowed to go in to perform and do an interview in the studio. So I've already been invited to 2 places. So come on, COVID.
Yeah.
Go away.
Hurry up and end. We got shows to do. Come on, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So things are starting to come, but I'm really excited for this iHeartRadio thing. If it, it's just a lot of voting, but you never know. Anything can happen.
Yeah. And it definitely does show for the doubters out there that being involved with the radio does still have a point. There is still a lot to be gained for being involved with the terrestrial stations.
I think anywhere your music is played online or internet or college or university, because I started with online in college and university before I got to mainstream. I didn't hit mainstream till I got signed because I wanted to have a label behind me. I don't know how hard it is as an unsigned artist to get on the radio, because I hear some people have done it, but I know I've had stations tell me because I'm signed with the smaller label, they won't play me. So,
really?
And I'm like, I'm signed, right, with a major distribution, but whatever. I just throw it back and I'm like, you know what? Somebody else is going to play me and you're going to be sorry you missed it. So not going to mention names, but I've had that a few times and I'm literally going, okay, do you know how many big bands are signed to small labels and have big distribution and they're huge? Some bands I didn't even know were like that and they're huge. Doesn't mean because you're not signed to a major, you can't be on the radio. But but those were probably. But remember, radios are following a certain format and rule. So if that station cannot play it for some reason, but I don't take it as anything bad. I just say, okay, there's a format and there's a structure and there's a rule they're following. From what I have shown them, I don't fit that, and it's fine. But I have other stations playing me, so in this, you just have to keep going because they didn't really say no. They probably wanted me to be signed to a major, which is my goal. I'm still working on that.
It's a process.
Everything is a step, but it can happen, but you just have to keep going,
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, being rejected by a station can sometimes be just a small technical thing. Like it could be, oh, your song is 4 minutes. We stop at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I've heard that.
Yes. I haven't had that, but I'm sure they do that.
Yeah. Or maybe your song is a little too strong with the language, and we are very picky about that,
I'm very careful. I don't swear in my song,
Yeah,
or else they're going to bleep it.
Exactly.
Or want me to change it.
Yeah.
And they do that. With the Green Day song, I remember there was a part in the song for, I think they were playing Holiday, and it was the bridge. And because they couldn't change the word, they just bleeped it. And then I was singing it. I'm like, oh, they bleeped it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You hear that all the time. You'll hear this like small like blank spot in the song where they just cut out.
No, but
language.
you hear the first sound of the letter.
You hear the first letter and the rest. Like you think they don't know you think people don't know what was just said.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
But it's the rule of the radio.
Exactly. The rule of the radio. Absolutely. I think it's really great that it's also opened so many doors for you with regards to playing like festivals and shows and getting interviews. It's kind of cool. It's more than just, hey, I got played on the station at some time of the day. It's all these things.
I didn't expect any of this to happen. When I had my interview with Chin, the Persian station, he just asked me, would you like to perform at our festival? I'm like, Chin Festival? I did a few years back, but sure, I'll do it. But I'm like, this is so cool because the station's backing me up with this one. It's actually in Ottawa. And he offered me that on air too.
Wow.
I know. I'm like, did he just invite me on the air?
It's like, and they have to do it, right? They invited you
same
on the air.
thing with the one in Quebec. He offered it on the air.
Yeah.
I just love it when they do it on air so people hear that, okay, she's going to be there next year. Stay tuned. Like it's to let people know.
Plus, they can never take it back. If they say it on the air, that's it.
No, I wrote it down. I have it bookmarked.
Record it,
on
everything.
This day, at that time,
Exactly.
during this hour, you said this. No.
Hey, you never know. You never know. So definitely, it seems like there's been a lot happening for you in terms of getting yourself out there on more stations and all these different festivals. But what else have you been doing? I know this past 4 or 5 months, shows haven't been happening. So have you been writing new music?
Oh, I have been doing virtual concerts.
Oh, cool. Do tell.
So I think I've done for 2 online stations and then one for Girls Supporting Girls. It's for a charity event happening in the States. I'm not really sure. I can't explain it very well, but I know it's about supporting women.
Nice.
I think with something. I don't want to say something and then I get it wrong. But it's actually a friend that I actually, she's from Michigan. And she came all the way from Michigan to come to Ottawa to see Billy Idol. And I'm standing in front of the gate and she's next to me. And we just bonded and we're we just became friends right in front of Billy Idol concert. And then a few weeks ago, she messages me and says, I didn't even know she did stuff like this. But she remembered I told her that I was a singer. And she's like, would you want to be a part of this? And I jumped at it. So September 19th, 5 o'clock, Girls Supporting Girls is on my Facebook page. You can see my performance. Yeah, I just love it. But since I can't go out, I do this. I do these kinds of performances, but I still prefer to be in front of people, but I do my best in front of a camera.
I was going to ask that because I've known other folks who have done virtual concerts, and some say, this is just awful. It doesn't feel anywhere near the same. Some kind of make the most of it. But
the only thing I do is because I was told when I was getting vocal training that no matter you're singing in front of one person or nobody, you have to sing like you're singing in front of 1,000 people because you have to sing your best to practice also. So being in front of a camera, I just pretended my camera was live and people were watching me, and that's how I was performing. As if I was singing to the people, because everything you do in front of a camera or in front of people, you want it to be the best it can be during that moment, because your voice is not going to be the same all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Your voice can crack one day, die the other.
And I imagine that for those musicians who haven't been practicing regularly or doing virtual concerts, they're going to come out of this when the time comes to go back to doing shows. They're going to have creaky voices. They're going to forget certain things. They're going to have to almost relearn a lot of stuff.
You just have to, the thing about me is I'm still doing what I did before the pandemic, but I'm doing more because I'm stuck at home. So I'm doing a lot more radio contacting because if I wasn't, I would be performing outside. But now it's like, I can't do that. I'm going to focus on something else. But I'm really spending hours on it. Like I am submitting to anybody. I even got a response from Germany. I'm waiting to hear back if I fit their station's format.
Maybe they'll invite you to play over there. That'd be kind of cool.
Germany is, they're very, they love rock.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people go to hear the rock concerts in Germany.
I've heard of folks who do tours in Europe, and they'll play in Germany and in England and so forth. And they go to these small towns.
As soon as the virus goes, I'm doing I would love to go do a tour in Europe. It'll be, because everything is so close together, and it's easy to go from one place to the other. And I heard that Avril Lavigne did that before she got signed or something like that. She did the European tour, or maybe she was signed, but that was leading to her first release or something like that. But yeah she did that.
Yeah. Plus, if you play these small towns and villages, everyone will come to want to see you play, and you'll have like people saying, one more song until like 3 a.m.
I love that.
Yeah, I've heard it's a very supportive audience. Definitely. So I'm curious, did you have any plans that got derailed because of all the pandemic and the lockdowns?
Recording.
Oh, really?
I wanted to go into the studio, but I couldn't because everything was, my label's like, you're not coming in till next year.
Oh no.
It's because they want to be safe. They want to make sure I'm safe.
Of
They want
course.
to make sure the artist is safe. They want to make sure everything is safe. I'm sure it is safe, but they want to wait a bit longer. They don't want to. Plus, it gives me more time to write some more music.
There you go. Yeah. Plus, I mean, especially if you were to get this, I mean, I know some folks think that you either will die or you'd be perfectly fine, but there's a lot in the middle of that. You can
The
come out.
thing is, there's different stages of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
some people are about to die and they survive. I think the ones who have passed are either their bodies were weak or it was just, I'm so sorry that they passed, like it just hit them harder than usual. And some people say, oh, if I get it, I'll be fine. I'll get over it. No, you might not.
No.
You might actually be gone, you
Yeah.
know?
Or and there's a lot of
There's so much happening. You just have to pray and hope like nobody around you gets it, because more people are worried about the elderly
sure.
because they are weaker.
Yeah. But I was also going to say for a musician too, like this can have some serious lung damage. You can come out with like permanent lung damage.
Oh, if you get this, you can't sing.
Exactly.
If your lungs is affected, no. I don't even know. Maybe it'll take years and years. I don't even want to know. I hope it doesn't happen to any singer.
Yeah, and definitely this it kind of explains the caution that your label's proceeding with, because they don't want you to get sick and be on the shelf for like 3 years to recover or what have you.
Well, they even told me not to go out.
Wow.
But I go out. But they say just be safe, please.
Yeah.
They don't want me to be sick while all this good things are happening or whatever's coming forward.
Yeah, definitely.
But the thing about me is I'm still living life like nothing's really happening, but I'm still aware, because the minute I start thinking about it, my anxiety strikes.
Mm-hmm.
I go nuts. I freak out, and I don't want to do that. So I go out, I wear the mask, and then I just do my thing, and then I wash my hands.
There you go. What do you find helps you to sort of relax when you do get that kind of anxious about it?
I blast music in my ear.
Nice. Good choice.
Music is actually Green Day, but if I just want to play something fast, I'll play something I think about. But normally Green Day calms me down before a show because I get excited, I get anxious, I want to do it, and then I start thinking about the lyrics too much. As an artist, you can overthink about things, but Green Day just relaxes me.
I like that.
I look up to them, and they have helped me a lot. And I remember one of the award shows, Green Day said, if you want to be here, you can be right on the stage with me. You just have to work for it, and it can come true. And ever since I saw that, I'm like, I'm going to do it. I love it. It's so, but it's very true. Things can happen, but there's a lot of hitting the wall and falling back down and standing back up. I have wanted to give up so many times. I'm so glad I got back up though.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be here.
Exactly. So
in a contest.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. You're like winning contests, getting invited to shows, being played on all kinds of stations.
And it's still, days can still get tiring, but I'm at least I'm way ahead now from where I was before. So
what is next for you? I know it's like kind of a murky question right now, but like what is down the road for you? What are you working on right now?
I would like to either release a single or maybe an EP, or I would love to do an album, but I don't know if I would release singles first or just the album. I don't know, but I really want to put out some new music.
Nice.
And I'm still in the process of what's the theme, Am I going to go a bit harder sounding? Am I going to mix it like my Hurt song? I don't know. Until I get into the studio, I don't know. But sometimes things surprise me. I think of something and then I get into the studio and then it comes out as something else, but it sounds even better.
I like that. Give me an example of that, of a song that turned out really different from what you had originally planned.
Well, my song Stuck Up, when I first co-wrote it, I didn't like it. And when somebody sang the demo, I'm like, I don't like it. And then I sang it the way I wanted to sing it. Mm-hmm. Now, I can't remember how the demo is because I have the new version in my head. But let's just say the demo version wasn't very good.
Oh.
No, because it wasn't the way I was hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the person singing it wasn't a singer. It was just trying to follow the rhythm. I'm like, I don't like it, no. And I didn't even like that song at first, but after I sang it, I'm like, I like it. Yeah, I'm just being honest. That I had to sometimes an artist has to sing the song to feel it too, because I didn't feel it when the person was singing it. Mm-hmm. I also my song didn't last. What wasn't actually gonna get on my album, The Kiss Is a Killer. I had to fight for it. I forgot why, but I said I can do it. And then I said the person singing the demo, it's not the way I would sing it, because it was low. I would sing it up. And then when I sang it, Ken Wells, the producer I was working with, said, "Oh, I get it." Oh yeah, and for Stuck Up, by the way, he kept raising the key till I got to the highest note I could hit. Cause he's like, "You can go up higher. You can go up higher." I'm like, "How high you want me to go?" "I want you to go up before you crack, okay? Go high." But by the way, cracking, it doesn't mean you can't go higher. It's just there's a point in your voice where it cracks and then you can go up. It's just a weird thing. Voices crack all the time. It doesn't mean anything.
I get you. Cool.
Yeah, because I have heard my voice crack. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Whoa, where'd that come from? All right. Well, Sabrina, thank you so much for talking to me. I really do appreciate this. It's cool to learn everything that's going on, and definitely congratulations to you for all the success, for all these stations.
Thank you.
Hopefully, folks, definitely go to her Facebook page. You can go to Sabrina Fallah. That's Sabrina as it's usually spelled, FALLAH.com for all the links, all the information. Vote for her for the Kiss FM Phoenix contest to get her on iHeartRadio. Once again, Sabrina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is Angelina Singer, author of the Upper World series, and you're listening to Citywide Blackout, the best podcast for independent artists.
Picture this. You finished your first book and nailed it. The plot, the characters, all the twists and turns. This one's a winner, and all you need is the right cover. If you've got my art skills, this is the part where panic usually sets in. Enter the cover villain, hero to writers everywhere. Founded by noted author Remy Flagg, Cover Villain focuses on composite image covers for science fiction and fantasy writers. Give them the details, and they'll craft a cover using popular trends that everyone will want to see. But wait, you say, I've got ideas of my own. No problem, as Cover Villain loves a good collaboration. As they say, our goal is to put a little villain in every cover we make. Want to know more? Then head to covervillain.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, folks, that brings the episode to a close. You can follow the show on Facebook under Citywide Blackout and on Twitter and Instagram under Citywide Max. Listen to the show on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, YouTube, and every Saturday at 10 p.m. on Boston Free Radio. To close things out, I've got two of Sabrina's songs for you, All or Nothing, followed by Kiss Is a Killer. As always, keep those ears open.
The night is the crowd that won't back down. The whites of their eyes like a fire that won't go out. And they run with their feet on the street and on